Good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, people, wherever you're joining us. You are welcome and thank you so much for choosing to tune into our channel. We talk a lot about economic development. We are an NPO, obviously, that is trying to accelerate economic performance across sub-Saharan economies. Hence, we talk a lot about economic development in Africa, with specific reference to sub-Saharan economies. Today I want to talk about getting the Nigerian economy to hit the $1 trillion mark. At present, Nigeria, the most populous economy, most populous country on the continent, but also the biggest in terms of nominal GDP. It has a GDP, gross domestic product, of about 440 billion US dollars. And I personally believe that it can easily reach the $1 trillion mark. In fact, the current 440 is way beneath the potential of the Nigerian economy. Even the $1 trillion mark that I want to talk about, it's still way beneath the potential of the Nigerian economy. But just to get things started, I want to talk about how to get the Nigerian economy to hit that $1 trillion mark. And it is not something unattainable. I will liken it to the UK. The UK, with a population of just 67.7 million people, they have 3.15 US dollars trillion, 3.15 trillion US dollars as their GDP. You might say, but we are a developing country. Don't compare us to a developed country that took so many years to develop. I'm talking the potential. I'm not necessarily saying we should go up to 3 trillion, which I still think that is very much doable and within a very short space of time. Still very much doable. And even if the Nigerian economy can hit 3 trillion US dollars, it is still beneath the potential. The potential for the Nigerian economy is tremendous, tremendous. With over 200 million people, it is tremendous. The potential, we haven't even tapped it. But currently, let me start with the way things are. The GDP is 440 billion US dollars. GDP per capita is 2,400 US dollars per year. Unemployment was 33% in 2021. It is projected to be 40%. It is way too high. 40% of the workforce unemployed is just way too high. People living beneath the breadline, also 40%. That is just there outlining the current situation as it is. But things, I know it looks gloom, but things can really improve. So what do you have? You might ask, what do you have in mind? What can be done for the Nigerian economy to hit that $1 trillion US dollar mark you talk about? To start with, the Nigerian economy, agriculture contributes more than 23%. And whenever agriculture is such a big contributor, you know that many opportunities are lost. You know that adding value to that agricultural produce is low, hence low manufacturing. In fact, all of our sub-Saharan economies are under-industrialized. And by not industrializing, we are missing opportunity. I've talked briefly about the benefits of manufacturing, and we did a video in the past about the benefits of manufacturing. But just in a nutshell, manufacturing or industrialization, it improves productivity. That is why it's so crucial to industrialize, to add value to our farm produce, to increase productivity. Manufacturing is a catalyst that gets other sectors of the economy to grow. Because if there's no manufacturing, there's very little transportation and logistics. There's very little packaging and boxes and stuff like that. It even affects services like short-term insurance. It also affects um, retailing. So manufacturing is a catalyst that gets other sectors of the economy to grow. And manufacturing also, it transforms the economy into a middle and high class, high income economy. Manufacturing, it creates wealth, it creates jobs. So it means that it gets many people to become millionaires. It has been found to get many people to be millionaires. Let me give this example. After Second World War, the economy and the infrastructure of Germany was almost decimated. Mr. Eckhart was the economist. Him and the minister of I will say the equivalent of Minister of Economic Development, they put policies in place that they did not allow any monopolies, or they did not allow any oligopolies. Because in a monopoly or oligopoly state, very few people benefit. So they allowed many people to get in manufacturing, to give many as possible the opportunity to become millionaires, and they did become millionaires. So when we do not add value to our farm produce and we instead import what we have the ability to produce, we are passing over the opportunity of becoming millionaires to other countries that we import from. We are allowing them to grow and strengthen their economies while we are not strengthening our own economy. We are allowing them to create jobs for their people while we are not creating jobs for our people. Hence, we are sitting with high unemployment rate in Nigeria and in Africa. Hence, we are sitting with many high percentage, 50% of the people in Africa, they live below the breadline. 40% are reported or recorded in Nigeria to live below the breadline. We lose these opportunities to other countries. We hand them over to other people when we fail to industrialize, when we fail to go into manufacturing. One person might say, but we need infrastructure. And I agree, we need infrastructure for effective manufacturing to really take place. And that is the ideal situation where the government provides infrastructure. But even in that state, when the government has provided infrastructure, in the end, it is not the government that is going to create enterprises. It is entrepreneurs that are going to create enterprises. It is not the government that is going to create wealth. It is entrepreneurs that are going to create wealth. It is not the government that is going to create jobs. It is entrepreneurs who create enterprises and they create jobs for other people. The ideal is a partnership, but in the absence of that infrastructure, or where it comes in slowly, our hands as entrepreneurs are not tied behind our backs. And I will give example with a very successful man, very successful people. The Dangotes and the Elumelus are functioning in the very same state of infrastructure. So we cannot say there is insufficient infrastructure to support manufacturing. They have trashed the muddy waters and they made it. Today, look where they are. And at the time when they started, many years back when they started, things were even worse than they are today. Because surely things are improving over time. But at the time when they started, things were not as they are. So we cannot hide behind I use the word hide behind. I'm aware that infrastructure is important. But when some people have made it in spite of electricity, in spite of good roads, in spite of communication, good communication infrastructure, that should be an inspiration to all others to take up entrepreneurship, and particularly manufacturing. Manufacturing is very, very beneficial to the economy. So I say it is manufacturing improves productivity. So that improved productivity, that adding value to farm produce, taking up manufacturing and looking at existing opportunities, it is what is going to get the Nigerian economy to grow quicker and to hit that $1 trillion mark. And I firmly believe that it can be done and done with ease. We just have to look at the opportunities and think like entrepreneurs. There are 500,000 graduates, children, or not, they're not really children, but students that graduate from Nigerian universities. Look at that as an opportunity. You just think they are ready, getting ready to move out of their parents' home and start life on their own. What do they need? Think of everything that they need and let that be their needs. Let that be an opportunity. 42% of the Nigerian population, they are 15 years and beneath and below. Where are they? They are in school. What do they need? Everything that they need, from stationery to school bags, school uniforms, school shoes, everything, chalks and everything that they need that represents opportunities. In most cases, undeveloped or underdeveloped. In most cases, what they need is mostly imported. And that is passing on opportunities to other countries and other people and weakening our own economy. I say our, I'm not really a Nigerian, but I'm concerned about Africa. And I start with Nigeria, with Nigerian economy, because it is the one economy with the greatest potential because of the size of the potential market. It has the potential to become the superpower. And there are other few economies that are likely to become superpowers in Africa, and that is what we need. We need to strengthen manufacturing in Africa. Up to 7 or beyond, over 7 million children are born every year in Nigeria. What do they need? Disposable nappies, children clothing, children food, toys, and as they grow, educational toys and stuff like that. All these are existing opportunities. I'm just highlighting them briefly because we did, I don't know, it's kind of detailed but not exhaustive. Can never get an exhaustive list of all potential opportunities. But recently we did a video on existing opportunities, manufacturing opportunities in Nigeria. I will put the link to that video in the description box below so that you can visit it. But I really do believe that the Nigerian economy can grow. It has the potential to grow, and it is operating way beneath the potential. And lack or very limited manufacturing is one of the things that are contributing to that. And I believe that there is big and there is small manufacturing. And I believe that many Nigerians can go into small scale manufacturing, and that will add value to the GDP per capita of the country, and it will create jobs for many. And the 40% that are unemployed, when they get jobs, It lifts them, they and their dependents. It lifts them up out of from below the breadline. The Nigerian economy can, within 3 to 5 years, can easily reach the $1 trillion mark. It can rise from 440 billion. And even that 1 trillion is not the best. It can perform way over that $1 trillion mark. But just as a way of gaining traction, let's start with small scale manufacturing, making those school bags, making stationery, making school pen, the pens. Just imagine how many children there are in school. And even going beneath that, I think for a start, there are so many opportunities and the market is so big. For a start, we may not manufacture laptops and cell phones, but we can buy parts and assemble them. Because as long as we are not getting involved in these things, we are passing over the opportunities to the Samsungs of South Korea. And I'm not saying we should not import, but you can buy parts and assemble and make a cell phone made in Nigeria. Perhaps they are, but there is room for one more or 20 more. Based on the statistics of SIM cards that are recut in Nigeria, it's about 187.8 million, almost 188 million people that have cell phones. We cannot just be consumers and making another country rich. I mean, if you assemble cell phones, and you just aim for a slice of the market of 1 million people that will buy your phone, and you add $25 as a gross profit, that may be even very low. But say you add $25 as your gross profit on each phone. In a year, that is 25 million US dollars. And think of the number of people that you shall have created jobs for. And within a year or 2 or 3 or 5, you will be a millionaire. You will graduate to Banana Island or a key Atlantic City or wherever. But we are passing on these opportunities as long as we're just happy to buy Huawei from China and we're not making our own. I'm not inciting any animosity towards any country or any economy. I just want to highlight that by not getting involved in making and manufacturing things, we are passing on the benefits to somebody else and we are missing. That's what I'm saying. No animosity towards any economy or so. Just highlighting the potential to strengthen our African economies, starting with the potential superpower of Nigeria. You can assemble laptops. For a start, let's start with buying and assembling. Assemble laptops and make money. And some things actually we can make. Fans, ceiling fans, ACs. To a mind that is untrained in electrical engineering like myself, it may sound like something big, but to an electrical engineer, these are the basics. Hence, we expect people to do these things. They are doable. Those 500,000 students that graduate, what do they need? They need kettle, electric iron, electric kettle, fans. Those are things that can easily be made. And carpenter, they also need ironing boards. Just hire 2-3 people and make ironing boards. If you sell 250,000 in a year and add a gross profit of $5, that's about 1,250,000. Making one simple product, ironing board, you can go far. Manufacturing can take a country and can take a country to higher heights, can make many millionaires. and it creates many jobs, and it transforms the economy into a middle or high income economy. I think I've said this before, but it is worth repeating because manufacturing, it is what we need. All our sub-Saharan economies are performing way beneath our potential. The UK with 67.7 million people, their economy is 3.15 trillion. All of us, Africa combined, 1.2 billion people, we produce 3.14 trillion, less than the UK with 67.7. Somebody might say, well, compare us to a developed country. I'm talking potential. Because we have the potential to reach that level. We cannot remain underdeveloped or third world or whatever forever. When we have the potential, I'm talking potential, we have the potential to do the same thing that they have done. Because we will be using machinery. And China is making small-scale machinery. You might say, but a small-scale machinery does not have the same production capacity as a big one. We've been waiting for foreign direct investment for over 60 years, since the first African country got independence from colonization. We cannot wait another 60 years. We don't have another 60 years to wait. 40% of the people are living below the breadline. We have to come up with solutions from within Africa, not expect anybody from anywhere to bring us the solutions. The solutions are going to come from within us, and we have them. That small manufacturing machine we import from China, it may not produce as much as the big one, but there is we lack capital. There is no money. FDI, we've been waiting for it for 60 years. It has not come. It tells us to develop infrastructure. We might just as well take matters into our hands, and we're able and we're capable. That small machinery is better than not producing anything. And it is better than producing things manually. It will take us somewhere. It will take us from 440 billion to somewhere, hopefully 880. If just enough people within the country take up manufacturing. It may seem like what you are doing, starting your small business, making soap, making toothpaste, making peanut butter, adding value, taking those tomatoes and making tomato paste. It may seem small, and it may seem like you're employing 2-3 people. But if 1 million people start various small manufacturing companies, enterprises, 1 million employing 3, soon 3 million people are employed. If 3 million people take care of 3 other people, 4 million people living on the income of one person, 12 million people are lifted up. That's something. It's not enough to solve the problem. But 1 million is also way too little. But what I'm trying to say is your effort is part of the collective. Because the point I'm trying to make here is, in spite of the agriculture, of the infrastructure, our collective small businesses together, their impact can be felt and can change the economy, can be felt in the GDP of the economy, can be felt in the tax revenue collected by the government. And I've heard many say, why start a business when the government with its policies is going to close down? Perhaps that is the case. But instead of looking at the glass as half full, half empty, let's look at it as half full. I mentioned the Dangotes and the Elumelis who are operating under the same conditions. And in my mind, I'm like, when we take up these enterprises and we employ people, Our businesses and our employees, we pay taxes. Tax revenue collected, they double, they triple, they quadruple. What government in its right mind would then want to close a business down? And I don't see that way. There may be a lot of red tape. They may be hindering the registration of the business and all that. But trudge the muddy waters. Don't wait for things to be ideal. If you wait for things to be ideal, we've waited 60 years, you will wait forever. Trudge the muddy waters. And you have examples, very good examples, the Dangotes in front of our eyes that have trudged the same muddy waters. And, I sometimes think, why is he the richest black person? And the US has got black people. And the US economy is 26.84 trillion US dollars. But the richest black person is not from that economy with 26.84 trillion. But the richest black person is from an economy of less than half a trillion. Because we import a lot what we are able to do. And when you manufacture something, you are more likely to be the only fish in the water, swimming in the ocean. If there's anybody swimming alongside, they're very small. And if you have the potential to start with a big manufacturing capacity, then you capture a big slice of the market and you become richer quicker. And there are over 200 million people in Nigeria. The household size is 4.5, so that translates to about 49, at least 49 million households. I'm sure you can think of something like spices. Every single day we cook. Mr. Dangote, sugar and salt. Every single day we cook 2 meals, at least 2 meals, and we add salt. You can think of spices. Every day, 49 million households they cook. You can have please let's minimize importing what we are able to produce internally. Instead of importing spices, let's start making them. You can have a contract with a farmer who makes herbs, who grows herbs for you. And the process of selling herbs is so simple. You just dry them out and then you crush them, put them in bottles, and that's it. And you sell them. And they add value and taste and flavor to our food. So I was talking about Mr. Dangote. Why is he the richest? Because you are more likely to have very little competition, and that means high potential of success. Somebody might say, but we've been eating these things. We've been importing tomato paste. You have competition. If you make it and you come in at the right price, you just hit below your competitor's market, you are likely, more than likely, in fact, I want to say definitely going to attract a slice of the market. And as you do that and more people, because the market is big, 49 million households, the market is big for many Nigerian entrants, new entrants. But please, let's not create over competition in one industry. But the industries are many. Like we said, we did a desktop research and we did a video on opportunities, manufacturing opportunities in Nigeria, and the link will be below. And you know what will happen as we take up these businesses, we take up entrepreneurship and create jobs. We are reducing poverty in Africa. And our children will no longer try to escape poverty in Africa and try to go to Europe and be treated inhumanely before they get on the ships in Africa. And some of them sadly lose their lives while trying to escape poverty in Africa. And those that make it, when they get there, they get menial jobs. But in their minds, it is like it is better than way back home. And it's not even like they get treated well. Very few make it. They escape poverty for something just a tad little bit better. But I'm saying we can make things better for us in Africa. Manufacturing, we've missed the boat, but we've not missed it forever. Egypt, they realize that, and they are investing billions building factories. Tanzania realized that, and by 2025 they want to be an industrialized economy, and they've just built a ship. You might say, yeah, they have the leadership that is aiming for that. I know, but what I'm talking about here, it is what is doable. They are building factories. I'm talking that small scale manufacturing. And if there's no place, if there's no factory, build that small workshop in your backyard. What matters is the product that comes out and the quality of the product, not where it was made. It's the product and the quality of the product. For a start, if there are no factories, if there are not enough factories, build that workshop. That is proto-manufacturing. That is in first industrial revolution. It's okay. If we get in late, it's okay, but we will make it. And I firmly believe the Nigerian economy can easily hit that $1 trillion. 5 years is too long. If enough people take up entrepreneurship, particularly manufacturing, please don't argue with me and say, but we are involved in entrepreneurship. The bulk of it is in street vending. The bulk of it is in importing stuff from China and Turkey. I'm talking making locally what you are able to make. And you are quite able. Some of these opportunities that we talk about, they are not difficult. The technical process of making it is not difficult at all. Making an exercise book, school shoes, tomato paste, it is not difficult to make tomato paste. And it is recorded that Nigeria exports tomatoes and then imports tomato paste. It cannot be right. And that should tell you that there is a room for new entrants in making tomato paste. And there is room in making sun-dried tomatoes. I talk a lot about them. I like them. They are so nice. And you can even export. That is what we should export. What we have added value to. Not raw stuff and then import it back after they have added value to it. We just give them the ability to produce 3 trillion, while that could have been us. So that is what I'm talking about. Manufacturing, and what we are able to manufacture, let's do it. Let not our children try to escape from Africa. And if you stayed with me up to this point, I wrote a book particularly prompted by our children that are dying in the Mediterranean, that there is no need for them to try and escape poverty from Africa, while we have the ability to start entrepreneurship, while we have ability to start those enterprises. So please click on that link. The link will be in the pinned comment section below. Just click on that. It's Smash Words. Click on that Smash Words link and download a copy of your book. And we talk about developing an entrepreneurial mindset, because you know what is a problem in Africa. I hate going back and blaming colonization and education, because I believe that things change when you point a finger at yourself. But I think also we have been made to believe and to think of ourselves as employees rather than employers, employees rather than people who can create employment. That is why our children see opportunities in Europe, because through industrialization, through manufacturing, Jobs have already been created and they are already there in Europe. But I want us to train our minds to see the potential, not to see the existing job, but the potential to create jobs just as much as those European countries have created jobs, to see the potential. And you know what? People are seeing that potential because venture capitalists are now coming to Africa in their droves, and 35% of them are going to Nigeria because it is the biggest market. You know why? They are seeing the opportunity. We have been trained to see existing jobs, but we need to train ourselves to see opportunities where opportunity has not yet been developed, and stop giving our opportunities to other countries and be the developers of those opportunities. 35% of venture capitalists are coming to Nigeria. They're seeing an opportunity. Let us see what they see. Let us not see the finished job, the job that exists because it exists because of manufacturing. But let us be the ones that are partner with these venture capitalists and create manufacturing enterprises in Nigeria, create wealth, grow the economy, create jobs. Because one of the things that we lack in Africa, generally all over Africa, truly speaking, it is lack of capital. But when venture capitalists are coming, let us take that opportunity. Let us not miss it. Let us take that opportunity. So again, visit that video. The link is below in the description box. Visit that video and listen to it, all of it, to see what opportunities are there and what resonates with your interest. Then take that one. But all that we do is to talk about opportunities. We don't have the capacity within our NPO to go now into the technicalities of that. Now take what resonates with your interest and then Google it further and see how that thing is made. If you want to make toothpaste, Google it to see how to make toothpaste. What ingredients are needed? Where do I source them? Who are the suppliers and how much is it? And then start making them. Just think of over 200 million people. Even if you just supply your state or certain counties within your state with that label, that brand of your toothpaste, you're going to go very far. 5 years is enough to have made you a multi-millionaire. Now, please, these are the opportunities that we are passing on, that I just wanted to highlight that manufacturing, it can take us very far. And please don't say we are entrepreneurs. Now I'm talking manufacturing, not importing from China and selling. There are many, yes, that are selling, many involved in selling. But that area of selling, of retail, is over-traded. And there are only just over 3 million, I think 3.5 million registered businesses in Nigeria out of a population of over 200 million people, and then over 17 million informal businesses. I so wish that many in those informal businesses could hear this, take up manufacturing, team up with a venture capitalist, go into meaningful business. Register it, go into meaningful business, employ some people, create employment, create wealth. Because as long as we are importing from China and Turkey, we're not really creating wealth. You are selling something, you are getting something, you are getting some money, but we are not really creating wealth. We create wealth through manufacturing. When we import less and create and manufacture what we have the ability. And again, I go back to that book of Smash Words to say that in that book, we talk about how to create, how to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. We need to develop an entrepreneurial mindset, not just a mindset of employees. We cannot the rest of our lives be the ones that just supply people with labor, just human capital. That's all. We are no, we are bigger than that. And like we said, some of these things are very simple to make. You can make them yourself. You can make cheese, you can make yogurt, very simple. You can make butter. The process is very simple. Now, venture capitalists, the nice thing is that they want partnership with local people. So that is the solution to the capital that we lack on the continent. Go, go visit that video, what resonates with you. Take it, do further research, and then do your business plan and get a venture capitalist. And let's go graduate many. Let's graduate many of this over 17 million street vendors into meaningful businesses. Now, I respect their resilience. I respect their tenacity. They are there because of lack of capital. Because starting a street vending is very easy because of low entry of capital. Because of you started with very little, but people are coming. 35% of venture capitalists are coming to Nigeria. Let's take advantage of that. Graduate from importing to manufacturing. Graduate from street vending into becoming a registered manufacturing enterprise. Grow the economy, contribute. I truly believe that if we do that, and just enough of us do that, and perhaps 10%, just we need to raise registered businesses from 3 million to 20%, and the bulk of that being manufacturers. We can see the Nigerian economy quadruple. And even if it quadruples from 440 to 1.76 trillion, it is still way beneath the potential. But it is better, and it is a step in the right direction. Let us stop giving away our opportunities to become millionaires, opportunities to increase productivity, opportunities to grow and transform our economies, opportunities to create wealth for our people locally. Let us stop giving those opportunities to countries that we import from. And let us start making more of what we are using daily, internally. I'm not saying we stop importing, but what we have the ability to do, let us produce it internally. Again, we talk about this in the book, that you are the agent of change that your country needs, and you are able and you are capable. Just think like an entrepreneur. You are able, you are capable, and you can equip yourself. You have the ability to read up on business skills and upskill yourself and play a very vital role in your economy. Don't look down on that small manufacturing enterprise that you start. Within 10 years, 10 years is way too long to get to 1 trillion. I believe that if enough people take up this message, within 5 years, that 1 trillion can easily be exceeded. Within 10 years, that 2 trillion, 1.76, 2 trillion can easily be reached, and even beyond that. There's so much potential in the Nigerian economy. Rise up, Nigerian entrepreneurs. Let's take up this challenge and make your country great, because the potential is there. Make it, let the sleeping giant wake up. Who's going to wake it up? I know most of you are looking at the government and you think the government this, the government that. You play part. It's the government and you. And even if the government is a little bit slower or coming or whatever, you have your part to play. And that part that you play collectively with other people, it's got tremendous potential to add to the GDP of the country and solve many of the problems, like creating employment, raising many from below the breadline. And then we can replicate this all over Africa. And there are other sleeping giants. The DRC, Ethiopia, Egypt. Egypt is awake because they are investing in building factories. But these four, they are very great. They have the greatest potential because of the size of the workforce they have. But we need to manufacture and industrialize and mechanize our processes of production. These four can become very big superpowers in Africa. And having said that, my fellow Africans, I love you, and please think about this. Take up that one business, do it, make your contribution to your country GDP and see it grow. And love you. See you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.